Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Soph and for today's video we're going to be doing my April TBR. I have been a brave girl when it comes to this TBR. I honestly don't know what I was thinking when I was pulling these books from the shelf, but here we are. We all know that I mood read anyway, so the likelihood of me reading these books is not very high. And also I just want to apologise if my voice sounds funny. I think I am coming down with something and it's all like in my throat, so I kind of sound a bit rough right now, but I'm just gonna get straight on into it. So I have a pile here of 8 books, but some of them are so chunky, and as always they are pure like fantasy romance. No complaints here though. In no particular order, the first one on the top of the pile is The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. This is one that I know a lot of people have read and loved, and it's fantasy but without the magical elements, and from what I've heard it just is a really good story. It doesn't need any of the magical elements that typical fantasies have, and it follows a princess who is trying to bring the king of the Bridge Kingdom to his knees. And it says here, the Bridge Kingdom is the only route through a storm-ravaged world, and it uses its power to deprive its enemies, including Lara's homeland. When she's sent to be King Aaron's bride, Lara will do whatever it takes to bring down the kingdom's defences, even if it means seducing her new husband. That sounds super fun, and I'm honestly just intrigued to see how I do with a fantasy that doesn't have those magical elements, because pretty much all the fantasy I lean towards involve the fae or like witches, and obviously they typically have magic. So I'm interested to see how like a normal fantasy, I don't really know what to call it. I almost want to call it like contemporary fantasy. But yeah, I'm interested to see how well I get on with it, but apparently the romance in this is really good anyway. Then, making its comeback for the millionth time, I actually couldn't tell you how many times this has been on my TBR, but it is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is #1 in the Infernal Devices series. I have wanted to read this series for so long. I love Shadowhunters. I love the Immortal Instruments movie. I haven't heard the best things about the book, so I was kind of skipping over those, but apparently these ones are really good, and I want to read these. And then the next ones, the next trilogy on, which I can't remember the name of the series, but it's like Chain of Thorns, Chain of Irons, Chain of Gold. But yeah, based in Victorian London, one of my favourite eras ever, and it's got demons and vampires and all of that goodness in it. So, and I think it will be a quite fast read because it is YA, so in theory I should be able to get through it quite quickly. I also found the audiobook on either Spotify or Everend, so I'm hoping to use that for this one. We then have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. This is one that I saw recommended on TikTok, and also I got a floppy copy, which I absolutely love, and it follows a world where children are born to be dragon riders, and it just says here that Annie and Lee were only children when revolution changed their world, giving everyone a chance to test into the governing class of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, even though Annie's lowborn family was executed by dragonfire while Lee was born to the very aristocrats who used to rule the city. A childhood at the same orphanage forged their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming their city. With war on the horizon, Lee must choose to kill the only family he has left or to betray everything he has come to believe in, and Annie must decide whether to protect her dearest friend or step up to be the champion her city needs. Loyalty and love are tested in this gripping adventure that asks what matters most, the family you were born into or the one you've chosen. So some good tropes in there. We got dragon riding. I think I picked this up not long after I finished Fourth Wing or Iron Flame because I just wanted more heavy like dragon books with like the same sort of vibe, and it's also got found family and romance in there, so probably a friends to lovers as well, which I don't normally lean towards. I'm very much an enemies to lovers girl, I'm just that basic, but I'm intrigued. We then have Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is the sequel to Powerless. I really enjoyed Powerless. I can't remember that much from it, so I will have to watch a recap or reread Powerless before I go into this one. But from what I remember, there is a world where the people with powers are like elites and the people without powers are ordinary, and they're kind of like sent away or something, and our main character is pretending to be a psychic and have psychic powers, and then she enters some trials, I believe. So this is just carrying on from there. I obviously can't spoil too much because if you haven't read the first one then you're gonna know all about it. But yeah, I am gonna read or watch a recap video. We then have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the duet in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. The first one followed a orphan who was taken in by a vampire king, and there's a competition that comes around every, I want to say 7 years. It might be like 17. I could be completely off, but it comes around every so often, and the winner of the trials gets to be granted a wish by the god of death, I think. And our main character is human, and she's entering this competition to get a wish. But obviously she has to survive being surrounded by vampires with no help from the vampire king, because he can't like get involved and stuff. And it ended so crazy. So I'm definitely excited to get back into this. I just haven't wanted to pick up such a chunky fantasy book, but apparently this month is just all the chunky fantasy books. So I feel this book will just keep moving onto my TBRs until I read it. And it's Heavenly Bodies by Imani Oriu. I still don't know how to pronounce their name, I'm really sorry. But I'm not going to go into what this is about because I've said so many times. And also so many people have read this book on BookTube and TikTok. So please go find either one of my videos or somebody else's, because I just don't want to talk about it. It's actually embarrassing how long this has been on my TBR, and it's just still going. This one is one of my Romantasy Fairy Loop books that I got a while back now, and it's an absolutely stunning edition, but the book itself doesn't have the best reviews, but I'm willing to give it a go because it's not that big of a book. And that's The Coven by Harper L. Woods. This follows our main character, Willow, and it says here, she never thought she'd accept a place at Hollows Grove University, the secret and prestigious institution where the best and brightest of her fellow witches learn to wield their magic. But Willow has reasons for being at Hollows Grove beyond the education it offers. Raised to be a weapon against the coven that presides over the university, she must find the bones of her ancestors in order to reclaim the magic that is her destiny. Her only obstacle is Alaric Grayson Thorne, the university's beautiful and infuriating headmaster. Gray is ruthless, manipulative, dangerous. He represents everything Willow has been taught to despise. But despite their mutual loathing, Gray understands Willow better than anyone, and he might just be the key to unlocking her full power. So to me that sounds really good, but I think maybe some people don't like the writing style or something. I'm not really sure, but it is such a stunning edition. I mean, the naked hardback is beautiful. So I hope I like it. If not, I'll have to sell this copy to someone who hopefully does. But yeah, I haven't had the best reviews, but I wanted to give it a go. It really isn't that big of a book. So then last but not least is a very long awaited book, and honestly it might just be something that I pick up every now and then throughout the month and read it over multiple months, so to not put me in a reading slump. And that's not typically something that I do with books this big or in fantasy, because you kind of lose where you are in the plot and it just makes everything more confusing than if you were to just power through. But this month's main goal is House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, number 3 in the Crescent City series. And the main reason this has been bumped up this month is because I've seen a lot of theories going around TikTok recently. I don't really know where the hype has come from or where all these theorists have come from, but they've intrigued me. So now I feel like I'm missing out on something. I put it off because of all the bad reviews, but now I feel like I'm missing out on something, and I just need to be like fully caught up now that I finish Thriller Glass and everything. So this is it. I do have the audiobook and I do have the Kindle edition as well, so I won't be lugging this monster around. I would have liked to annotate it, but that's going to take me so much longer, so I don't think I'm going to do that on this read. Maybe I'll reread it at some point and annotate it. I just hope that it's not as bad as everyone Fingers crossed. So this is my very over-optimistic TBR. I honestly don't know how well I'm going to do. Obviously you will find out at the end of the month. Hopefully I don't, with whatever this is, it doesn't make me feel super ill and I can actually do some reading. But as always, I will keep you updated. If you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up because it really helps. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment in the comments below about what you're reading this month and what you are hoping to read in the next few months. I want to hear it all. That's it from me today, guys. Bye!